A vintage blanket. A chunk needle with wool yarn. I took apart an old button-up shirt and made pattern pieces from that and modified it slightly to match better with the pattern of the blanket. After you're done playing around with where you want to cut the fabric, what I do is I cut one of the half of the front of the coat first, and then what I do next is I'll take this pattern piece and then lay it over to match on the other side. So rather than using the pattern piece, I actually use the piece that I just cut out to make sure I can line up the stripes on the bottom perfectly with the other side of the front. Each vintage blanket is going to be different, so the blanket you have might vary from the one that I have. So basically you just want to make sure that you can line it up the way you want beautifully. For the back, rather than cutting on the fold, I actually cut half of the back just in the center, and then as you saw, I just folded it over, and that's so I could line the lines up on the hem and make it all match up really well. Also hope you enjoy seeing Mabel making appearances. The first thing you want to sew is going to be the shoulders. And then you do the side pockets. And I really like these because these actually end up being almost like internal mittens in the coat. Once the pockets are on the front and the back, then you can sew the side seams up together, and then I actually also just sew around the whole coat. I did a 2-part sleeve with a cuff, and voila! Rather than belt loops, I actually cut a slit into the fabric and did a blanket stitch around that for the strap to go in. And that's how I made my blanket coats. You can go to my page to see how I do a blanket stitch so you can make your own.